Now when it comes to Drake, we're wasting no time today, and if you are ready to see how over the past day or so, Drake has revealed that he's not just a fan, but he is literally obsessed with Kendrick Lamar in one of the weirdest ways that you can ever see. And well, with that, and with what Drake accidentally liked on social media, we can finally say that Drake is secretly worshipping and enjoying Kendrick Lamar's music behind the scenes to this day. Well, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And no, really, is what we are starting to see from Drake is just exposing him is not just one of the most pathetic people that you can find out there, but well, to quote Kendrick Lamar, and to go back to Not Like Us, well, these lines that Kendrick told us, they have never looked more true because they have literally come to life. Well, now what I'm going to say is that now is Drake has shown that he is genuinely obsessed with Kendrick Lamar, and not just because he is his rival, or because he beat him in a rap beef, but because he is genuinely infatuated with him, and he is at the point where he's starting to take down notes and add them to his own playbook. Listen, anybody anywhere near Team Drake is not going to like this, and they are not going to want to hear the truth. So make sure to leave a like and support the channel in everywhere you can so everybody can see what's going on. Which let's just start off with the fact that, well, over the past 24 or 48 hours or so, if you have been paying attention to the rap world and in between all of the weird crashes and all of the people getting exposed, well, at the center of it, what Drake has been doing, well, within the complex interview that he dropped where he talked about the ISBN creative process to some things he accidentally liked on social media, well, revealed that he's still enjoying or is still infatuated with Kendrick Lamar within a way that is just so weird and off-putting, especially when you consider the message that Drake has tried to send and portray to his fans. Well, between all of these things, what we are finding out is that Drake is a Kendrick Lamar stan. And I don't know, maybe we need a term for this, but Drake seemingly has some sort of a condition now, or I guess after losing so much to somebody and being outsmarted and defeated and outplayed by them in every single corner, step, move, and decision that you have tried to make, I guess losing so much to one person can start to make you infatuated with them in a weird way. Which I think, well, he tried to hide for so long. Drake has given us irrefutable evidence of the fact that he really may be Kendrick Lamar's biggest fan. And so now there are two things that we really need to look at to just ultimately determine how Drake is finally slipping up and revealing this. And the thing that kind of just makes this all weirder, and it shows that Drake has Kendrick Lamar on his mind all the time. And well, whether he's realizing it or not, every single thing that he does is being related to his infatuation or just ability to never escape his presence. Well, something weird happened when scrolling on social media, and people saw that Drake liked a video of none other than Huey rapping Kendrick Lamar's track Swimming Pools over one of Dax's beats, which now this has been a social media trend that people are doing, and Huey is seemingly jumping on it, but with Drake going on his lame dial of social media and liking that post in public for all the rest to see, well, there's either two ways he wanted this to go, which now the first is that he wanted people to see that he liked this, and I guess he wanted people to see that he is enjoying Kendrick Lamar's Swimming Pools track, which, to be honest, just considering where Drake is at, that doesn't seem like an on-brand thing that he would do, because why would he pick up the guy who has absolutely ruined everything for him? And if it's not that, then I guess Drake accidentally liked this post, or it was looking at it, it was thinking of Kendrick Lamar and the process of it, and while slept up and showed that Kendrick Lamar is always on his brain, which as a grown man who has really sworn that Kendrick Lamar is his biggest rival, and that he's the worst thing that has ever happened to his career, I guess this is just new levels of pathetic. But now where things get worse, and where this whole meme of Kendrick Lamar from the Squapolo video has never looked more true, and really, once again, we just look at Kendrick Lamar's music being a mirror for everything that has happened, or just this idea that there's a Kendrick bar or moment for everything, while right alongside the heady fam lines, this works with it perfectly. Well, making things all the more embarrassing is when we look at the interview that Drake did with Complex to talk about his Eyes to Men rollout and everything he has done to try and push and hype up this album that just looks like an absolute disaster and mess. And now with every moment he has made, and even with the garbage explanations that he tried to give to justify him, well, they've only made everything worse, and they've only caused people to laugh at him more. And one thing in this interview, it seems to be the most important that he met it in the big picture, and really understanding where Drake is at, well, right now comes from a quote that he is getting dragged for, and that his fans are really getting embarrassed with, is it showing that not just Drake, but his Wraith fan base has secretly become infatuated with Kendrick Lamar, and not just in terms of secretly liking his music or secretly respecting him, whether they admit it or not, but in terms of literally wanting Drake to be every single thing that Kendrick is. Which when you see the way that they talk about Kendrick out loud, or see the way that Drake has even chosen to talk about him as a whole, And while you see all the ways that he's respected him and tried to throw subliminals on his name, or try to allude to the fact that his success is inorganic, or that he's been rigging the game or tipping the scale, to see Drake literally morph to a point where he is now trying to do the same thing that Kendrick Lamar is doing, well, it's creating a moment for the Cupcake and all the fans, where they just have to face the fact, well, they are all trying to be Kendrick Lamar for dummies. And so just to look at the quote that is showing this, and just to look at the moment that is fully revealed to us 100% in conjunction with everything else we know, that Drake has really modeled everything he is trying to do, no matter how much of it's failed, while off of the very ethos that Kendrick Lamar creates with his music, well, all comes from this quote in the interview, which says this, which, notice, to give Isabella some context, is talking about Drake interacting with his fans and himself on the theories and conspiracies surrounding his ice-cement streams, which now what he says is that he watches docs, which I can't say the name because they won't allow me to a lot, and then as long as you get invested, you start to try and solve things before you even know where it's headed or what the answers are. It's like this sleuth energy. What did I learn? What did I miss? Wow, this guy is the worst. I can't even get through a full sentence of his without cringing. But then Drake said, not that this aren't lovely sometimes, because of course, even while trying to act like you are pro-intellectualism now, you had to fit in with the grifters and losers. This hit your anti-intellectualism to try and fit in with all your lame rap buddies. And just with this, and honestly, the funniest part about it is now seeing the Drake stands, acting like they have been heard, and that Drake loves all their weird theories, and they're running around, and now they're making more theories, and they're just doing anything they can, well, to try and get this wannabe Ark House slot that Drake has made any sort of credit or merit that it really doesn't have. Well, it's honestly funny, because laugh the past year or so where Drake stands, and I mean, honestly, we can go even longer for that, have consistently tried to clown Kendrick Lamar's fan base for just being one of the most intellectual fan bases and artists as a whole right now. As of course with Kendrick, every single thing in his music and his videos and his shows and his presentation and with everything, well, is so thought out. So it causes everybody to think and look into every small detail to try and figure out what's next, and to try and see what's really happening, and to try and see what hidden messages may be under
the music. And after Drake stans tried to consistently clown us for all of that, and, you know, it turned into this whole joke where they would just mock Kendrick Lamar and mock the actual depth and layers within his music to try and just say that people are looking into things way too much. And, you know, it's just music. It's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be a history lesson, as they would say, or, you know, any of those other ignorant or anti-intellectual bars that Drake set on Family Matters, which they tried to keep using as gotcha moments, which clearly shows so much about where they stand. Well, after all of that, to see Saint Drake now say that he loves the same thing that Kendrick Lamar has had for his entire career, which is just a fan base that interacts with his art and then thinks about it and talks about thinking about it, because there is so much effort and thought put into it that, well, it creates these great conversations and allows everybody as a community to come together and, well, just discover more and more layers to what was intended from the artist. Well, to see Drake and OVO try their best to cosplay intellectualism and to just create meaningful art and discourse because this is all they had left, wasn't it funny how the turntables have turned, and now you are literally the very people that you were making fun of for caring about music and caring about the details that an artist is putting in. And, you know, just with this, and even with Drake acknowledging this and talking about it as a benefit of the ice spanner, or the rollout and the streams and everything he is doing, you do see that after losing the beef to Kendrick Lamar, and after seeing Kendrick Lamar's success, Drake must have took some sort of notes from them, because for the first time in his career, and no matter how good or bad his stuff really is, because again, for Drake stans, it's not about this being good or bad, because all this Pinocchio slop is just that, Pinocchio's filler slop. And, well, it really does seem like there's absolutely no merit to any of this. But still, with the idea of Drake trying to act like there is details, trying to act like there is merit, and trying to act like there's a deeper meaning, which, well, for his fans, it has kind of worked, I guess you could say. And, well, it's caused all of them to make these theories that is giving the Iceman era and lore for Drake way more detail than he ever intended to, for sure. And maybe that was a point of it in of itself. Well, overall, however you want to frame it, Drake has really tried to study Kendrick Lamar and, well, once again, to look at this, do the Kendrick Lamar for Dummies thing, as this is exactly what he has turned into, and he is wearing that proudly on his sleeve, whether he is admitting that he took it from Kendrick or not, which, to me, is just the funniest thing that we could possibly see for so many reasons. Because, seriously, just walk with me for a second. Drake and his fans literally stood on the complete opposite side of Kendrick Lamar and made fun of any slight detail or thought that fans or Kendrick put into his music, and, well, tried to dispute it as just looking into the things too much, just running with garbage, and, well, making excuses for not having as catchy music as Drake, as they would say. And now, what Drake has done in this rollout is took Kendrick Lamar's playbook, made his own version of it, and as a result, and with that, well, tried to condition his fans to think the same way Kendrick fans do, which is just to challenge everything that they are saying, never take anything at face value, and always look for the layers beyond the surface of the music, which, even with doing that, and now again, even with taking the book that Kendrick Lamar had in Scabo up, which is How to Be Kendrick Lamar for Dummies, and, well, trying to make a whole rollout for an album based on that very precedent, which, I mean, has been so undisputably clear. You can't deny that it has happened. Even with taking the winning formula that is giving Kendrick Lamar the biggest rap album of 2024 in terms of the numbers, still the biggest rap album to the 2025, and everything else that it's surrounded this all-time great run, and, well, the all-time great music that has changed hip-hop forever. Well, even with taking the golden playbook and the best run that we have seen from a rapper and the best ideas that we have seen from a rapper and their brand as a whole and trying to make your own version of it and still failing, this is the most great thing that could ever happen. And honestly, this is just hilarious to see come full circle and really to see Drake explain that, yeah, I tried to copy the Kendrick Lamar blueprint and, well, still have the Iceman record be in the hole that it is, because for Drake to give up on being Drake in terms of the presentation of what he's been trying to do, and while he's took a Kendrick Lamar approach just in terms of trying to cater to a more intellectual or thought-provoking idea in terms of how the project is being rolled out and what he wants fans to walk away with, I mean, again, from the trash theories to the songs having no momentum whatsoever, I mean, I guess Drake really is illiterate, and so are the OVO fan base and community as a whole, as clearly they could not understand even the book of How to Be Kendrick Lamar for Dummies, which, just with all of that, this is just too funny. And if you don't see how Drake has become obsessed with Kendrick Lamar and literally every single aspect of his life, as well from social media trolling to literally making an entire album about him, because let's just break it down from taking Kendrick Lamar's approach of trying to challenge fans to think about everything they're seeing and really engage with what's happening, made theories about it, and tried to go to be on the surface, which of course is the Kendrick blueprint, and then literally also make the very concept art house slop that you were trying to make, well, inspired by Kendrick Lamar, or loosely based on dissing him with the whole Pinocchio thing, and with all of these ideas that are trying to circulate around the conspiracy slop that you then said about all of the stuff surrounding Not Like Us, the lawsuit there, and while the song may artificially boosted to ruin your career, I mean, overall, from studying Kendrick Lamar on the back end to then dissing him to your fans on the front, Iceman Air really is an entire album that has been built around the horror. Yes, the horror that has been instilled by one man onto another. And, you know, I guess as this is a different approach, at least from the optics of it in Drake's last few albums, on paper you'd think that the thing would be slightly more compelling, but when you see that the songs have failed,
The project has no momentum, and if it dropped today, it would probably do the worst numbers of Drake's career, and even worse than SSS for You, because that's how low the bar really is, and that's how much Drake's momentum has just fallen, which, again, this isn't just an opinion. You could see it literally happen in real time, and in this rollout from What Did I Miss to Which One, and then to Doghouse, overall, this is just looking bad, and things are really looking finished. And as this is where we are at, and this is the fall down and fall off that is happening, well, just remember, if you see Drake or see anybody in OVO or see a Drake sit all together, just remember that when they talk about the music they love or defend the guy that they are trying so hard to defend, well, they have really reached a point where they have lost so much that they have really been turned into fans and admirers of the guy who was ruining them forever. So yeah, that's all I got today. Let me know your thoughts on this weird obsession that Drake has with Kendrick Lamar now, which is showing that he can't get him off of his mind at anything he is doing. And, well, it's caused him to just try to copy his approach for Iceman and fail so bad, which is just so embarrassing to see really reach its all-time low here. If you made it to this point in the video, first off, thank you. I really do appreciate your support, and I hope you have a great rest of your week, and happy Thursday. We are almost at the end of the week. Well, if you made it to this point in the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton, and I really can't appreciate your support enough. And listen, if you want to see how on the other side of the big three and with the other guy in rap who's a snake, a fake, and a fraud, well, with none other than J. Cole, he has shown that he hasn't just betrayed Kendrick Lamar, he hasn't just betrayed Drake, but he has betrayed the entire rap game. And from Walla to so many others, well, J. Cole is one of the fakest friends you could find, and one of the fakest people in the entire music industry, and maybe even the very fakest. Well, you're not even going to want to miss this one, so check out the suggested video.